You all might have seen this video of Sadhguru, which many of you might have overlooked and watched like another shot.
In our body, the five elements on a subtler level have manifested themselves as panchapranas, as the five forms of basic energy in the system. One aspect of it is very directly and closely related to what we refer to as snake. So, because of certain reasons, it so happens that your Vyana Vayu or the Vyana Prana behaves in a certain way. So, your skin becomes like that of a reptile. So, when we say Sarpadosha, we are talking about the energy. It's become like that of a reptile, and that can be relieved by doing certain things. Why in the Bhairavi temple we set up Sarpa Seva, and the Sarpa Seva is done with the termite hill earth, so it can be relieved. It's a simple shift in your energy.
This video has a deeper meaning in it. Now, association of Lord Vishnu or Shiva with serpents is understood. But if that is so, why is it that when you enter Devi temple, like Linga Bhairavi temple, you see them there too? Not just as symbols or carvings on the wall, but as consecrated serpent shrines which people perform rituals to, offer kumkum or do sarpa seva. Many think that it has been simply made. But do you know that each and every carving on the walls of the temple has been made knowingly and with absolute clarity by Sadhguru, because it has deeper impact, or say it plays a very important and significant role in the life of a sadhaka, especially Devi sadhaka. And that is why in yogic and tantric system, snakes are always associated with Devi. Now if you are a Devi sadhaka and you have Devi at your home, this video is very much important for you. Why and how? Let's know in detail in the video. Many believe that Nagas mean snake, but according to yogic science, Naga is not just snake. Naga is the one who has uncoiled himself, one who has broken the cycle of compulsiveness and moves with the intelligence of cosmos. This simply means that Nagas are the one who has went beyond the five senses and has the highest level of perception. And that is why in yogic and tantric systems, Nagas are not just snake, it represents the subtle conscious movement of life energies within the body, and one of the way through which it is expressed physiologically is through the movement of blood which Sadhguru was delivering in the video. How? We all know that blood flow is physical, pumped into the body through arteries and veins. But in yoga, what guides and energizes that flow is prana, that is the life force energy. And among the Panch Vayus or the Panch Pranas, the Vyan Vayu or the Vyan Prana is responsible for circulating the prana through the entire body, which is distributing life energies and maintaining cellular communication and integration. And similarly, Naga in yogic term represents circular or the spiral motion or coiled stillness when dormant, or flowing intensely when active. So the circulation of blood, which happens in rhythmic wave-like pulses, mirrors the flow of serpent through the body. And when yogis meditate deeply, they often perceive inner pulsation or spiraling sensation. And this is where the link to Nagas become very much real. I know you all are quite confused as to what does this mean that the flow of serpents through the body. And do you know, here's when Devi or Shakti comes to play. If you have ever heard or chanted the Devi Stuti, you might be knowing that Nageshwari comes as the seventh name of Devi, which if we go to meaning, it means goddess of serpents. But if you have watched my previous video on how 33 name does not just represent different forms of Devi, but it represents the three stages of sadhaka's life. If you remember, Nageshwari is stirring up of Kundalini, that is uncoiling or rising up of Kundalini, and that is what is known as Adisesha, which is one of the 12th dimension of Nagas being worshipped in India. Now to make it more clear, you all might have heard that when your energies are concentrated in Mooladhara, then food, sleep and reproduction becomes the focus of the life, and that is where we are in the survival mode. In simple language, if you look your body once, it is made up of blood, cells, bones, etc. Now consider blood like flowing river that carries food and message to every house, and where cells are like workers in every house. They know exactly what to do. Some clean, some build things, some fix things. But here's the question. Who tells the river, that is the blood, where to flow? And who tells the workers, that is the cells, when to start or when to stop? It is a dormant Shakti or Devi sitting like serpent resting in your Mooladhara. But when the Shakti awakens and the Kundalini moves by sadhana and spiritual activity, it moves in spiral like the way blood flows or how the energy rises during meditation. And this is how Nagas are always associated with Shakti. Your Shakti being the deity in Mooladhara, and the way the Kundalini is sitting on your Mooladhara and the way it moves is very much similar to a Naga. And when this happens, when the uncoiling or movement of Kundalini happens, that is when the Shakti or the Devi in Mooladhara meets Shiva at Shahasrad. And once this happens, you go beyond the five senses and your perception increase many folds just like a Naga. And that is why Shakti and Nagas or Devi and Nagas are always associated together. Because inside the human system, Shakti sleeps as Kundalini in the Mooladhara. And so, when Shakti is inactive, blood flow equals to survival. But when Shakti awakens, blood flow plus breath equals to inner perception. The same energy that keeps your body alive becomes the energy that awakens your soul. That is when the Shakti awakens or rises. So, in your blood and breath, she's already active in survival level. But in sadhana, you invite her to become conscious, awake, and evolutionary. And this is how Nagas and Shakti are very much significant for those who want to penetrate and know life beyond their physicality and beyond their five senses. This is not just about experiencing, realization, or liberation. This is about knowing. So whether you actually relate to the symbolism or not, you have to invigorate that dimension. If you want to know beyond the senses, your Adisesha has to uncoil and move. To know it more better, I've already created a video on how Devi and Devi Sadhana helps you go beyond the senses. If you want, you can watch this video. And that is why, and because of all these, at Linga Bhairavi temple, Sarpa Seva or offering Kumkum is often practiced at Sharpa shrines at Linga Bhairavi temple. Now one quick thing before we end. I've started a weekly email called the Sadhaka's Diary. It's an email I'll send every Sunday where I share my personal thoughts, experiences and insights that I don't usually talk about on YouTube. So if that sounds interesting to you, the link is there in the description and in the pinned comment. You can sign up for free. I would love to connect with you there. And with this, finally ending the video. If this video has helped you in any way and if you found this video meaningful, please do share this with as many people as you want. This channel really needs your support, because perhaps this channel is not growing as it should grow because we are not getting your cooperation in terms of likes and shares. So please do like, share, subscribe if you really want this channel to go on working. And with this, up to next, stay safe, healthy, happy, and namaskaram.